COVID has affected Friends of the Caribbean in a number of ways. Because of the nature of what we do as a community organization, we were no longer able to have monthly meetings. We found that the older member of the community now had to rely on technology, which they weren't up to date with. We've looked at our database and identified the vulnerable within us, so we could communicate with them in a different way. The assistance from Milton Keynes Community Foundation has been tremendous. Without such intervention, we would not have been able to stay afloat, and we possibly wouldn't be an existing organization today.
We've seen referrals to the counselling service at YIS actually double compared to this time last year. COVID has really had a very negative impact on people's mental health, and obviously in particular young people's mental health. Our service, the support that we give young people, never stopped. It transitioned to telephone counselling, it transitioned to video counselling.
I think generally speaking, people's level of anxieties are higher. People are worried about the future, people are worried about what this new normal is going to look like. People are suffering from low mood and depression, maybe not seeing their families as much. We're also seeing an increase in kind of suicidal behaviour and suicidal intentions. Milton Keynes Community Foundation have been a real support to us during this time, and so we were able to use that money that they provided to us to provide these emotional wellbeing calls to our local community. And we've delivered over 4,000 calls since the beginning of March, so it's been incredible, and it's been a real lifeline to a lot of people.
So Milton Keynes Foodbank noticed the effects of the COVID-19 crisis almost immediately. We issue emergency food parcels for people who aren't able to feed themselves and their families, and demand for those really did soar. Pre-COVID, we were averaging approximately 250 food parcels every week given out. This sharply rose during April to about 1,000 a week and actually peaked at 1,100. So this was so much more than we were ever used to giving out. But with the funding from Milton Keynes Community Foundation, we were given the comfort that we were able to buy food and we could reach anyone in Milton Keynes who needed food during the crisis.
COVID has affected MK Act in that we gradually saw an increase in people trying to access our service. We did see people who were more high risk, they were in more dangerous situations. Community Foundation has really helped us during the pandemic. Within our crisis service, what we found most difficult was people, when they were having to move, that because there was no shops open, they weren't able to access second-hand stuff because of the risk of infection, and also the shops weren't open. So we had one woman who was a nurse, she fled her husband and she had nothing, and she had to have a washing machine in order for her to wash her uniform to go to work, so we were able to buy her a washing machine.
The Vital Signs report is a way of promoting philanthropy in our borough. because if you want to make a real big difference to things that will really change outcomes for people in our community, you need to have a look at the Vital Signs report, and then you can direct any donations you want to make to the Community Foundation to the places that are really going to make change happen. So the Vital Signs report is downloadable from our website. Once you've read it, please give us a call, because if there's anything we can do to support you, your organisation, to make a difference in your community, we want to talk to you, and somebody in the philanthropy team will be more than happy to give you help in filling in an application to access some of our funding.